Hi, friends. Welcome to TakeThree Talks. I'm Steffi, and I'm going to be your host. And right now, we're about to start part 2. Oh, hello, it's Guillermo. It's our Korean meat farm dog rescues story episode. And I'm here with my co-host, Meijun, who's laughing at me. We are starting part 2 now because we have to go do a little bio break. If you haven't listened to part 1, I highly recommend it. So I think it was really good. What do you think, Meijun?
I really enjoyed.
People should go listen to it.
100%. It was a trip down memory lane for us to reminisce about how we met Guillermo and the process of adopting him and how we even came up with the name Guillermo and just the entire journey from that time to
his sicknesses, him getting healed,
all those memories, man. All those times we had to go through with him, all the money that
our first trip.
Money that went into trips and also his medical bills and like food and daycare and all of that good stuff. It's there. So
now we're gonna kick off part 2 with where we left off, which was
Seattle.
Our Instagram journey in Seattle. And I think what I want to just like preface with is that Instagram was really like starting, kind of. Like this was when Instagram was starting. Like we didn't have a video yet on Instagram.
Did we not?
I don't think so. I think it was just photo. And I don't think carousels or any of that existed yet. There wasn't even direct message, as we just mentioned. We didn't send Guillermo's thing on a direct message.
Let's fact check that.
Let me see like what says Instagram launch date October 6, 2010. So we were growing up. See, we were just gone like through college using Instagram. Like we were growing up with Instagram, right? It wasn't like a really big thing. When we got Guillermo, it was like 7 years of Instagram. So let's see, when did Instagram
in 2017
videos. Instagram is a photo and video sharing social media. It launched in 2010. The first prototype of Instagram was a web app called Bourbon. Instagram launch. Let's see. I'll fact check this, and in the meantime,
I think there was video, like, because I remember posting video of Guillermo, but again,
from the start, you think?
I think so, yeah, because I remember I used to do all those slow-mo videos of Guillermo.
Then why would people not do video before? Like I
think photos were a big thing back then.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to like fact check.
Let's fact check.
I don't think that. In the meantime, I'll scroll through Guillermo's Instagram, but you can tell us just a little bit quickly for the people who didn't listen to part 1. You know, we were on the cab from having adopted Guillermo on the night of February 3rd, 2017.
Yes.
In Williamsburg, Brooklyn, New York, leaving PS9 Pets. After meeting Gina Bowler, the founder of Korean Canine Rescue, and we were taking our little baby. Sweet baby in your lap. Yes, we were taking him home, and when we first got there, it was like he was so small. He was 5 to 6 pounds. He was like just like 4 months,
he
according
like
to the
frazzled
post. And just like we've inserted all the photos in the show notes, so make sure you go see it. And we were just so lucky. And we were obsessed, like truly obsessed. We were taking so many photos. I don't understand what's going on with Tobias.
Toby, relax, buddy.
Let's go sleepy. Sleepy. And sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, Tobias finally went to sleep. Thank you, Tobias. Yeah. Thank you so much for the public. We have a live audience here. You know, we need to act to live audience. So. Yeah, I'm like, in the meantime, as we were doing, I was scrolling Instagram and fact checking. I think it is 100% a video and photo app. I'm just like making shit up.
Yeah, we're making shit up.
But I think what I want to say is that we were just taking so much content of him, and we were just talking about him and thinking about him. And Meijun is one of those people like that just has ideas. Like he's like idea man. And it's just like this like machine. Like he was just like, he had this little notebook and he would just write all these ideas, and then he transitioned to taking them on his phone, and it was just like, then we had a shared phone notes with like ideas for Guillermo, and like he was like dadager.
I was dadager
from the start.
I think part of it was because both of us, I think, were very creative people, and both of us, we were working in an agency, so we were expending all of our creative energy into whatever
boring
we were doing.
Energy.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Some stuff were boring, ain't gonna lie. So Guillermo's Instagram was our creative outlet for us to have fun, create content that we like, just enjoy being creative in making either videos or Photoshop comps or whatever is happening in real life. We tried to do things that are real time with Guillermo's account. So it was like an outlet for us to just voice our opinions, our humor, our creative juices into a dog's account, you know, in his perspective. So we created a persona for him, and the tone that we would speak, from the captions we write to just the way we showed content and spoke about Guillermo and spoke from Guillermo's perspective. It was just all created with our understanding of him and it was, the type of persona we thought he would be.
Yeah, and it was crazy because from the start, like we really created this like brand. You know, it was like I'm seeing his content and it's just crazy because this is Guillermo's first post, you know?
Insert post.
Today I met mom and dad doing some light shopping at PS9 Pets. Little did I know I was finally able to come home with them. Thank you, Gina Lori and Free Korean Dogs, for rescuing me and all my other brothers and sisters all the way from Korea. Now we get a chance to find new homes with amazing families. Good night, everybody. Hello, #hello, it's Guillermo. Like,
wow.
Holy shit, so cute. 100 million hashtags. And then just some like people commenting on his stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just so sweet. Like we were so candid and just authentic and just like we were just having fun, right? Like
yes.
People were like, we were replying back to comments, you know, like things like to our friends' dogs who also had an Instagram. Like and also this was New York in 2017. Yeah. Like also like I'm sure that even until now, like dog accounts on Instagram is like a big deal, right? Like that was the start of Katie Storino with Toast Meets World, the dog that had like the tongue out.
Tuna melts.
Tuna melts my heart. What is it?
I think I don't remember. I think it's tuna.
I think it's tuna melts my heart.
I don't remember.
Whatever.
Yeah.
The point is, there were like so many. Like we used to go to PetCon and whatever. The point is, it was so. I've said the point is so many times. Yeah, it was very trendy, and we were a very accepted community.
It was a huge community and was a great networking tool. It was kind of like saying that, you know, people smoke, so it's easier for people to smoke to like socialize and connect with people and meet people. Yeah. Guillermo was our cigarette, like in a way. You know?
Yeah, we would meet people because of him so many times.
People would stop us and talk. Now. Yeah, exactly. We'll get free stuff for Guillermo. Yeah. But overall, it was a great way for us to just meet people, meet other dog families and dog friends and etc. Go to dog bars and kind of.
It was a huge community.
We just put ourselves into that niche and family, you know.
Like we became dog parents. We were those people.
Going to 100%. Dog birthdays and
like our friends would like bully us a little bit for it, and like our coworkers and just like for example, my friend like Guillermo's friend Penny. Hi Penny, yes, I'm trilingual. I speak Korean, English, and Spanish. Since I was brought to the US when I was so little, I got to learn so much. Because Penny said, "Do you speak English?"
Yeah.
And like it was like an actual like huge thing, you know, like, it wasn't about like how much value am I adding to the content or whatever. It was just like pure fun. Like they told me I was too young for the bottomless mimosa, so I went for the all you can ears because like, he was eating pig ears in the photo.
It's so beautiful to look back because we were able to practice our copywriting, practice our brand building, all
audience
audience
gathering.
understanding and just all of that and data and being able to churn out content in real time and just exercising that part of our brain. It was really consistently. It was so interesting because we learned so much from it.
Yeah.
We were actually building a brand.
Yeah.
You know, for Guillermo.
Mm-hmm.
And
not for us.
No, not for us. We were building a brand, Guillermo's brand.
Yeah.
For free, you know?
Yeah.
And
without really like knowingly, but also kind of without, like we didn't have a plan or like a launching schedule. Like it was just very like, this is the idea, I create it, or like, oh my gosh, like look at this idea, I had it in the subway.
Yeah.
Or like, oh my gosh, like look, this is happening in real life.
Absolutely.
Like, how about we make this?
And I remember
there's no judgments.
One of our first like viral, quote unquote viral pieces was when the Nike ad came out with Colin Kaepernick.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to remember what the first copy was for it and the riff we made off of it, but in a very tasteful way. But we'll insert that.
Is it that one? The one that I'm seeing here first actually is the Guillermo with the Guillermo with girl with a pearl earring.
Oh, this
and
was
Guillermo with a boxer. I think this one was our first like kind of quote unquote.
I think that one was during the period where people were hopping on the trend of seeing what their what artwork they look like when they take a selfie. Yeah. And we did one with Guillermo.
Where's the Nike one? I don't see it.
It's probably somewhere around there. But yeah, we'll pull it up. We'll put it on the show notes. It's also on our website, in our projects.
Oh yeah, it's in our projects. Yes, yeah. I can put it in the link in the show notes as well.
But yeah, we were creating. But the point is, I keep saying the point is también. The point is, we were able to engulf ourselves with what's happening, and channel that into some kind of creative output on Guillermo's account.
Yeah, and it was really lighthearted. And we were able to meet like a lot of really fun people through it. Like we knew dogs in like different countries, like not countries, states, and we knew like, you know, their life, and we're like, oh, look at what Simon posted this morning, or look at, and then when we got to do meetups and stuff, and we were moving away, we got to do like going away parties for Guillermo.
We had a Jack Russell gathering. We had a Jack Russell and Horton.
Yeah, and like it was just so sweet to be able to really harness a community through this dog's Instagram and be able to share like our little glimpses of joy. You know, there were times that we got so into it that we would get advice about the better story or the better line or the better hashtag. Because it was like a business at the end.
It was kind of like a business.
Yeah, because Guillermo was getting gifts and stuff, you know, and it was really nice to not be able to like do little like partnerships. And like for his Halloween party, we got stuff donated to him. Yeah. And in exchange of like posts kind of. Right. And like we also did our G's Doggy Bank, which was like our little campaign to donate back to shelters. Right. And every like give back a cent, and we partnered with different doggy influencers and like,
all on our own terms.
All on our own
just
terms.
Us exercising these creative like ideas.
Yeah, and just like putting it back to like a purpose or putting it back to something good. Never just like on a whim because we wanted to make money or we wanted to just market our dog. Right. And we were also very clear at like Guillermo didn't do well with like a lot of other dogs. So we didn't took him to like, oh, here, come meet Guillermo. Like, no, because he, like, and then if we did those type of things, we set really specific boundaries about him, you know? And like, we were just always able to put him first no matter what, and I think that's what makes it fun. Like I think people in the pet industry could go like sometimes a little above, you know, like we've seen at least in like our niche how sometimes like a dog just wants to be a dog and just wants to play.
A little bit of overdoing it,
you know. And then you're like, oh no, like come here, like it's just a photo, like this and that, and it's just like at the end of the day, we always knew like Guillermo was an animal, you know, and I'm not putting him just because of an Instagram, you know, like I'm not doing anything like against his will.
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I think even when he was posing and you were like, I'm like, Guillermo, stay, whatever. I'm like, listen, like,
She doesn't
this is
want
not his, like, you know, duty.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, let's just be gentle and
Totally.
whatever.
But
and
he
Sorry. loves, he's
Mm-hmm.
really driven.
Yes.
And he's super smart.
Very much so.
So you did a really good job because you would do poses and you would always have treats. Like, you're so smart too. Like, you always wanted content, so you always wanted treats.
I knew how to, as they say it in Ecuador, do trueque with him. So like an exchange. In terms of what he wants, and I get something out of it.
Yeah.
So he never felt like I was pushing him too much, but because he also wanted something from me. So it worked out really well, and he just learned really quickly. He's such a quick learner.
Yeah.
For the not only for the tricks, but what is good and what's not good. Like, I can confidently put up a big bowl of fried chicken in front of him. I can walk out of the house and I know that he won't touch it. That's how much I trust him, you know, and we were able to build that trust because of all the effort that we put into like educating him in New York, and also the effort he put into it as well, you know, to learn. Yeah. So it was really, really just fun to
and he came to Ecuador and everything kind of went a little bit to shit because everybody wants to feed him, everybody wants to give him pancito under the table.
He's addicted to pancito now.
He loves pan, he loves cheese, like he's a
little spoiled
bad
here.
Dog.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But
he's a good dog.
Still really good for sure.
And we also, like, people feel so happy like feeding a dog that it's like we also don't like to break the human's heart and be like, can you stop?
Totally.
So sometimes we're like, okay, whatever, we'll just pick up the bad poop.
Yeah, but I'm kind of going back to a little bit of the content as well. Another memory I had was on Halloween when we all dressed up as cows.
Oh yeah.
We all had a matching costume and we were all cows, a family of cows. And I remember
a herd of cows.
Oh my God, yeah, a herd of cows. And when we were there, it was I think one of the not the first times, one of the few times that I remember feeling so popular with Guillermo there, because everyone loved his costume, and everyone was coming up to him and wanting to take pictures with him. Yeah. And other dogs and dog parents were coming up and asking, "Oh, is that Guillermo?" Yeah. And that was a little taste for us. It happened multiple times, but during that time, it was a little kick in my head. I was like, oh my God, like, people just know us because of Guillermo. Like, people, we did such a good job at building his brand and getting him out there. And in no way, shape, or form are we like huge, like millions of followers type of influencers. We're more of the super micro pupfluencer, and we were totally okay with that. But we were able to reach so many people, and people just know him. Yeah. And people always come up and ask us, "Oh my God, is that hello? It's Guillermo."
And you know
and
what's
it's just
nice?
so
I
sweet.
think more than just like the fandom, I think what was nice is that we were putting in like effort and time into this. Like, we cared.
Hours of photoshopping.
Remember in the part one where I said that when Major and I do something, we like sácale el jugo? Well, like, we were sácale el jugo. Yeah. Like, this was important for us. Like, we had fun and we took it serious. Like, we were like, you want to post every day? Like, we were showing up every day. We were like doing videos, stories, like
insert
sharing
content here now.
No, just go to his Instagram.
It's
like,
so much work. Yeah.
Like, and just not even just work, because I think back there, like, we didn't think about it as work. True. It was just like, we went places because of him, and like, we wanted to share. Like, oh, hey, I saw these new little pet store. Do you want to go see it? Like, they have these cute little sweaters. Or like, oh, look, there's this new park. Or, oh, look, like, we haven't been to this dog park before. Or, oh, look, you know, like, or let's walk to this dog park because Guillermo wants to walk. So he also got us out a lot, which was really good. Totally. We should start doing that more here. Like, have him be an excuse to like go out on like little trails.
We met a lot of people because of him too. Yeah. We went to that dog event in Williams.
We should start using him more.
I know. Let's use our son.
Dog people are always good people. Well, not always, but
we went to an event with Kate Spear. I know that she was very important to you, and she also had a dog. And
well, hers is a service dog.
And we were able to meet them when we were in New York. And I remember getting invited to birthday parties because of Guillermo, and getting free stuff because of Guillermo. And we saw that
We even got a client now because of Guillermo.
We got clients because of Guillermo. We saw that there was
Our first client was because of Guillermo. It was Guillermo's dog
true.
sitter.
That's
Who the
true.
fuck do you think we are?
That's true. So Guillermo had a huge,
That's why he's the chief marketing officer.
huge role in us staying and being more creative, and to the point where, you know, we started TakeThree partly because of Guillermo.
Because we said, hey, listen, like if we can do this with a dog, like we can for sure do it for ourselves. Like my idea, my creative direction for TakeThree was that it was going to be a studio where we make our own content. We have like our own little line of content. Like I thought we would do episodes on YouTube where we had like GoPros, like from Meiju's point of view, my point of view, and Guillermo's point of view.
Yeah.
And we were going to get Guillermo this doggy vest for a GoPro. And our whole lives, like our whole travels through Latin America, we're going to be told through the three views of
three lenses
of our lives. And that's how we were going to grow a brand on YouTube and like travel and like be like digital nomads.
That was our goal. Yeah, that was our initial
that was
goal.
like my dream. Like that's what I pictured when I moved. Like that was kind of my goalpost, you know. That was like, okay, like that's what it's going to look like almost in a way.
Yeah.
I'm going to like get emotional, but you know, one day it'll happen, hopefully.
It will.
And you know, it was just like the life we lived through Guillermo as well was just so beautiful, and the people we met and like the friends we met and like Vinata and like Fearless Aggie's family and like what's his name, like Porter Doggyson, and just like so many of these people and these humans that we know through this dog. And it was just really nice, and it taught us a lot about Instagram and social media, and it gave us balls, to be honest. We were like, we can do this for a dog, we can do it for us. Like,
absolutely.
Let's go. You know, it was kind of like our test, like, let's go. And now you do a kick-ass job by doing it. You basically do it on your own. I don't really do it. I don't even have him logged in. I've tried to like minimize my use of social media. I think I should log into it again because I would create badass content.
You do now. I mean, you did, but you do now too.
But yeah, I think it's just amazing to see how much he's grown in our lives. And even when we went to Seattle, we were talking that, you know, it was really nice because he got this wild caught Alaskan salmon at Pike Place Market. And it was because, you know, he was able to do tricks during the visit at the farmers, like at the market of sorts and the fish market. And we were able to show people his Instagram. People were like, oh my God, he's like famous.
I know. We were so proud of it.
Back in the day, like having 10,000 followers was like
always
hard,
the goal.
you
Yeah.
know?
And it was always a goal.
It was like the goal. So, and it was hard too. It wasn't like you could just suddenly go viral.
Organically,
like,
it was
like,
hard. Yeah.
Like it was like once in a blue moon, right? So yeah, whatever. The point is, this trip, basically all of it was not necessarily surrounding him, but I think since we got him, like my guides were like, when we traveled with him, we're like, what are the dog parks that we can go to? What are the neighborhoods that we can go to? What are the bars? What are the coffee shops? What are the restaurants? Like I would do research and I would look for pet friendly places. I would like contact people, ask them. Like this was like before kind of pet friendly was like really accessible. Like now I think is a lot more accessible, but back in the day, like Bring Fido was like basically like the only internet forum built website that told you all the secrets. And I just have guides on guides, like for Portland, for Seattle, like New York. Like we have the guide and on the website as well. But it was just our lives surrounded Guillermo, and it was beautiful. And we got to see so much of cities on foot and like go to a lot of nature parks. And I think even now here in Ecuador, like when we go to like the park and like we take him with us, it just feels so nice to have like another little companion that sniffs around and like you have a little worry, you know, you're always a little bit on the edge of your seat,
making sure he's okay,
making sure that there's no dog coming at him to eat him or whatever. I'm a lot more paranoid, I would say, than you are. You're like a very confident dad.
I trust him a lot more now, being around us and off leash too. So tell him about Prospect Park. Oh my God, Prospect Park was one of my favorite experiences in New York as a dog owner. We so much so that we would wake up every Saturday morning at 6 or 7 sometimes 6, 7.
It was from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
It was until 9 a.m. was when off leash hours was.
Until 9 a.m. From 9 p.m. to 9 a.m.
9 a.m. 9 a.m.
Yeah.
was off leash was the final, like when off leash hours was done at Prospect Park. And Prospect Park is this park in Brooklyn that it's so vast and so huge.
It's also in Central Park.
Huh?
It also happens in Central Park.
Absolutely. But when we went to, because we lived in Brooklyn, Prospect Park was closer. And we would wake up early just to take him to Prospect Park off leash and have him be able to experience off leash hours with other dogs. Because on leash, he gets a little bit like, protective and leash, what do you call it? Leash power, leash aggression. So off leash, we were like, really wanted to see him play. And that was one of my favorite times because you literally, if you can imagine what dog heaven would be like, it probably would be that.
Like just rivers
of dogs off leash playing.
And in like misty Brooklyn days.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, and you just see hills, and it's just hills and hills of dogs and people, and it was just beautiful. And at the end, like, we would just take the train, and the train would be empty, and like you would just see like the people that were going to work on a Saturday or Sunday, and then you take your tote bags, and we would go to the market,
the flea market,
and then we would walk, or we would take a cab.
That would be our weekends.
And it was just like, then, or we would go after that. We would go to Barclays, not to Barclays, but to that,
to the dog bar,
that Trader Joe's mall thing.
I forgot
but it was in Fulton Street.
Yeah, the shopping mall.
Yeah. So we would go there after the park, and like, it was just like miraculous. Like we got to see New York, like that a dog owner gets to see. Like, like the New York that bar goers get to go see, and like New York is just such a different like person by every person that experiences it. Like the art people, the book people, like there's always a space for you in New York. And I think that's what's beautiful. It's like
totally,
even when we moved to the Upper East Side and we were living there for the last bit of our life, like going to off leash hours at Central Park, like my God,
it was
that
beautiful.
was like no other. Like going on a run with Guillermo, like seeing him in Central Park, like motherfucking Central Park.
It's one of those things like you feel like you
me?
made it, because as immigrants and as foreigners, we're always seeing Central Park from movies and shows and etc. and on the TV, and just being there,
living there, and going on walks there, like going on breaks, like in between all the hassle and all of the things, like just walking Central Park as my leisure walk. Like, oh my gosh, just like being able to see my dog playing in Central Park, like as I look up and all you see is buildings and all you see is like green and
blue sky
and like, oh my gosh. And it was just like, and it was like right in spring, so everything was blooming and it was pink.
Weather was perfect.
Oh my gosh, it was just unreal.
A memorable experience.
Like living New York through Guillermo's eyes was just the most beautiful times, I think. So I wanted to see if there's anything else. I guess I want us to just end this chat. I think we're kind of like in the end of it now, and I think that we talked about training him. We talked about his food issues. We talked about a little bit about the Instagram content journey. You can definitely go back and see, like, maybe we can do a guide with our favorite Guillermo posts on Instagram.
Totally.
Because we can make a guide with his posts.
Yeah.
And we talked about the process of adoption. We talked about his Instagram, Hello, it's Guillermo, what it was like to meet him when he was found, etc. And then the only other last thing was traveling with him and how he adapted to Ecuador and how he is now. So just regarding about like his flight here, because he was already kind of used to flights and we were already a little bit used to flights, even though this was a whole different ballpark because we were traveling internationally with him. There was a lot of paperwork.
Yes, there was a lot of paperwork
that had to be timely manneredly done.
Absolutely, because you can't get like something too early or too late, so we had to time it perfectly to get all his like papers like accredited and signed and stamped, etc.
Like 48 hours before flight.
Exactly. And
It's a COVID test.
it was a lot of, without getting into much of the details, because we do have a blog about it. There was a lot of paperwork.
And this was before COVID.
Yeah.
This is like old.
Exactly. There was a lot of paperwork that we had to do in a very like fixed timely manner.
Yeah.
Which we stayed on top of. So kudos to us.
Yeah.
You know, making sure all his vaccinations are up to date, making sure he has like, that he had his full like body checkup and everything to make sure he's good and healthy. So he's not bringing in anything.
His travel bag.
His what?
His travel bag.
Making sure that everything that we had, that we needed, like the travel bag and meds and stuff for him, we had to get those. And even the travel bag had to be a specific size.
Yeah. And he didn't kind of fit in the travel bag, but we just made him fit. Like
we had to. We had to. Yeah.
And what was crazy is that we got like, you know, my ESA paper because my therapist was giving it to me. And what was insane was that we got to the paperwork to the stand where we were getting on the train on the thingy because we were flying off of LaGuardia. LaGuardia's.
We were flying. So here's what happened.
LaGuardia,
we had all of our paperwork. Everything was ready, but when we got to LaGuardia, they were checking the papers and the
because it wasn't
the recent thing that we got signed was dated.
My therapist
was dated incorrectly.
Yeah.
So we had to like get that fixed, and board the plane.
We couldn't get it fixed. We had to pay the $200. Yeah.
That's true. That's
true. At
true.
that time, emotional support animals were able to fly.
Yeah, so we had to get like a little stamp so that we can.
It was just he just couldn't fly free.
Yeah, but one piece of paper was like wrongly dated. Yeah.
But it was like signed, like it was like a day off or something like that.
No,
it wasn't like or a year off.
It was
like
the number.
It was 2021 versus 2020 or 2019 versus 2020. One of those things.
Exactly.
And I was like calling my therapist. My therapist like was on the phone, and like I was like having so much anxiety, and I was like, it was just like all the dramatic. But at the end of the day, everything ended up going through, and we came with Guillermo, no problem. When we got here, no problem. You just have to do an extra little step, and yeah, Guillermo just did great. When he first got here, he was a little bit constipated, I would say. And also when we'd go on trips, he would just like not poop, so he would get really fat, but it's just like constipation, I think. And he I don't think his eating or any of that really changed much, maybe a little bit. We had prepared really well, even with food. We stocked up with food.
From Chewy, we got like I think four or five big bags of food for him, so we were good for at least like a year and a half or so. So that was well taken care of on our end too. So we were very prepared.
Transition.
And then we found new food for him here eventually.
But so he's done really great. He's continuously still eating lamb. I guess I forgot to mention that in Seattle as well. Because his life changed, he started eating salmon, and he was able to eat lamb because we figured we buy this like lamb lung treats, and it did so good. His poop looked so great, and like we were grading his poop. We still do. Guillermo does really well in no high fat diet, so more in like pebbles plus a little bit of fat, but not too much fat, so bones like are no good for him.
But, he has to have a little like 1 minute on bone. Nothing too greasy,
not too fatty. He doesn't do great. But the oats, so I started making him treats when we were in New York, when he was in his food thing. And I make him treats still here, which are super easy and convenient, with the oats, the peanut butter, and just water. You can add like banana, you can add papaya. I'll maybe one day bring back Woof Pops, but we'll see. And go ahead.
And also I just had another memory pieces keep coming back when we talk about stuff. We used to meal prep for him. We literally were those type of parents where, because of his like stomach issues and all of his allergy issues, we just basically got together all the ingredients that we knew he could have, and we put it into like jars and like Tupperwares, and we had so many different Tupperwares of like food meal prepped for him.
And it was this dried veggies that you put water on. And there was like 4 dogs. It was like this dried formula thingy. That was like, it was from Dr. whatever.
Harvey.
Dr. Harvey's.
Dr. Harvey's.
And he still has like the Calm Down powder from Dr. Harvey's, which is really good. And the Run Me. The
Runs Be Gone.
Runs Me Gone.
Yeah.
Runs Be Gone. That one is the one that is really good as well if your dog has diarrhea. It's Dr. Harvey's. But yeah, I think he's doing great. He's like grown out of his food allergies. He recently had an episode because we gave him salmon because we couldn't find lamb. Like that's the thing about here living in Ecuador, that he uses these like specific type of food that like is imported. So it's like, you know, sometimes there's problem with imports and COVID and stuff like that. So we have to be wary now and like buy a little extra food for him because we had to transition to salmon for a bit, and he got this like the horrible rash.
Too much salmon. We realized too much salmon wasn't
because
good.
It was too fatty.
Yeah.
So the 2 weeks he started like his like skin was like super rashy again, and he was itching so much. And then I realized, oh my God, he's getting his bumps again. So we had to get him Benadryl, and he didn't eat for like 3 days. He was like drinking some water, but we were super scared. The vet came, like super dramatic. But he's doing great.
He's doing well
he's
now.
A little baby. I love him so much.
I know. So, but yeah, I think he's loving Ecuador. Like, from my perspective,
agreed.
He loves the weather. Obviously, he loves his cousins. Yeah. And he's super confident and more comfortable. Yeah, rest in peace, Teo. And he loves going to the park, and I think he's just liking his life right now. Yeah. He just living life.
At first you could see that he was missing like air. Like he needed to get adjusted to the altitude. Yeah. Especially when you would go to a park. I did too. Yeah. When we would go to a park, he'd be like more tired quickly. Yeah. But he's doing great. He loves it. So that's Guillermo's story. He's a little Korean rescue dog who's now thriving and living in Ecuador. And he's a little bit of a pupfluencer. He recently went viral, so go check out his work.
Check out his work.
Run by his dadager, Meijun Kai. Also check out his dadager. And maybe mommy would be making a comeback. Hashtag coming soon, making some recipes together. What do you think, Guillermo? We'll do a mommy cooking together segment.
That's actually a really good series that you guys can start.
Okay, maybe we'll think about it because people wanted the recipes for your birthday cake. Okay, birthday boy. Happy birthday, Guillermo. 2 weeks ago was his birthday. He's número 6.
Número 6, sí.
Así que, thank you so much for being here, our friends. Thank you for listening to our beautiful child's story. And to whoever's going to tell me my dog's not my child, just please don't. Thank you so much. I love you so much.
And if you guys always have extra questions, you can ask Guillermo directly at Hello It's Guillermo.
Yes.
He'll, sometimes he takes 24 hours to answer. He's such a busy person now. But
running the agency.
I know, literally. So, but yeah, we're always here to answer any questions at the end of the day. So, yeah.
That's it. And if you want our recommendations, we have a New York City pet-friendly guide on our blog. Of course, we don't know if there's places that need updates, but just let us know if you go to any of the places we've ever recommended. And we also have this whole blog as this whole podcast as a blog, so that you can find the shortened version or like easy link clicks to anything. We have a blog about traveling with our dog, and hopefully, Major and Steffi from Dog Friendly Arena can come up with a few blogs or two. But he hasn't gone to any dog friendly spots recently that we can recommend. Well, Uco bread. We can recommend.
Here
Uco
in
bread
Quito.
is really nice. It's here in Quito. Hashtag pet friendly and highly recommended. Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing life, and
Stay safe.
Stay safe, and I'll see you when I see you. Love you, my friends.
Bye.
Bye.